I think it was psychologically safer for me to heal slower. And I noticed the people who heal slower actually heal deeper and longer. So what he discovered there, I guess, was this personality type that we call type T person for tension generates high tension. They're movers and shakers. They're business people. They get lots of college degrees. They want to excel at everything. They want to win. Or as he used to say to his patients, you push yourself hard. But the people don't often realize that because they have no other frame of reference. This is all I know. I'm being me since I was a child. And so the word perfectionism was the only word that I believed with him. The rest of it I didn't believe, but I knew I was a perfectionist. And so that word kept pulling me in, reeling me in, and eventually it ended up working. But he proved clinically, this is not theory and it's not philosophy. He proved this over a 50-year career. These people are generating tremendous amounts of rage, but they don't know it because it's called unconscious. Unconscious means you're not aware of it. And so people immediately dismiss it. Oh, I'm not angry. Well, that's why you have the pain, because you're not angry. You auto-repress it or automatically repress things that bother you. I've had so many people write to me that my book helped them to heal after decades of pain when they read this line in my book. Perfectionists go around angry all day long, but they don't even know it. Does something to them, this truth, and they'll get tears in their eyes and they'll understand I've been an angry human being. And it upsets them at one time, but it frees them on the other end. It frees them and they begin to heal. So if you could accept the premise that whatever's on the MRI doesn't mean anything, even if it's a tumor, that's still a mind-body process, but that might have to get taken care of surgically, possibly, of course. But we're talking about regular back pain. It's not coming from herniations or stenosis or osteoarthritis or spondylolisthesis or spondylolysis or all the labels that they give it. It's coming from rage. I call it silent rage because you'll never feel it. And so that's a big hurdle for people accepting the truth. They showed me my MRI, and you can see clearly on there the nerve is pinched. It's clear, ostensibly. And Sarno's telling me, don't pay attention to it. It's not being pinched. Not at all. Well, that was tough. I had to drag my left foot for 9 months. And my wife was a paraplegic herself, and so there was only one leg between the two of us, I used to tell people, And so I didn't want my back operated on. I didn't want anybody to touch it. And thank God I didn't listen to them. They wanted to operate. I listened to him, and it resolved. And so there's some internal work that needs to be done with people, okay? But the real healing mechanism is knowing what's going on. Like he used to say, the back surgery is not the wrong modality. It's the wrong diagnosis. It's not a herniated disc causing your back pain. It's TMS or rotator cuff or meniscus in the knee or plantar fasciitis or yada, yada, yada. It goes on forever. They can give it a label for eternity. Almost all those things are from an emotional process.
I've heard before that, for example, some hip pain can be traced back to TMJ, to grinding and clenching at night. And what you're saying is go even deeper than that. Go beyond the physical to the metaphysical, and there is a spiritual root cause or emotional root cause that you need to uncover. And don't pay attention to the doctor's diagnosis and prognosis, their prediction of a dire fate for you. Just focus on your own truth that you're a cell of God.
Was beautifully said. In other words, you can go do all the anger work you want in this life. That's okay. Might even save your life at some point. But my contention is, why are you getting angry? Why is the more important thing. You can do boatloads of anger release work, but guess what? It keeps coming back because as long as you keep getting angry, and why you get angry is still there. It still exists. So it is a spiritual thing, judging things, taking strong stances, and biggie is career. That's a big one with me in consults. People are asking me, what should I be doing for a career? Because that can generate a lot of rage when you're going to work every day and you're not aligned with your soul's purpose and why it came here. It can be deadly at some point, because you're fighting your soul's energy, the peace that we're trying to find in this world, the karma we're trying to burn off, all of those things. And I see it working over and over and over. But people don't believe it. And there's two reasons. Well, there's two groups. The doctors don't want to believe it, okay, because you don't have to do anything to heal. Okay, so the medical industry, Dr. Sarno didn't believe they would ever pick up on it. He said if they did, it would collapse economically, stop doing everything. And the second group of people who don't want to heal are the sufferers. I know it sounds weird, right? But the reason that they're giving it to themselves, they're doing it to themselves, they don't realize it because it's outside of their awareness, is to help them cope. It's a coping strategy through traumatic times, through pressure-filled, stress-filled times, getting a degree, starting a new company, getting married. As people often, they'll immediately get pain. They don't realize that it's nothing wrong with the body. It's just the demands that are made on you at that time. But you're not aware of those demands because the ego is very sneaky. It's very sly. Like David Hawkins used to say, your ego doesn't give a damn about your life, he said, which is right. It doesn't care about you. It's out for itself. And so ego is one thing we focus on, of course. But you can come at this from thousands of different angles. People say, what's the main problem? I can name it 1,000 different ways. It's an anger problem. That's one way to say it. It's a fear problem. That's another way. You're deeply conflicted. That's another way. It can keep on and on and on. It's an addiction too.